Hello, guys. It is Tuesday, January the 10th, and I want to continue our discussion about step two. Coming into July of 2021, I knew two things to be true. I was absolutely powerless over alcohol, no doubt about it, and my life had become unmanageable. I couldn't manage my emotions. I couldn't manage my finances. I couldn't manage nothing in my life. It truly became unmanageable, and because of that, I just wanted to blot out all the failures that had come to my attention. Right, my self-inflicted failures, and so I knew something needed to change. Anything needed to change. Something needed to change. It could be anything, but the problem was, I'd already tried everything. I'd already tried to change everything. Nothing worked at keeping me sober. Sure, I was able to stitch together a couple of days here, a couple of days there of sobriety, maybe even a couple of weeks of sobriety. But time and again, I always went back. I always went back to drinking, without fail. After coming to the rooms, I heard other people sharing their experience, strength, and hope. And that word, hope, I heard hope in their stories. I heard hope for me. I didn't know how I was going to get that hope. I didn't know how I was going to do what it was they were suggesting that I do. I had no idea how the hell that shit worked. But all I heard was hope. I saw other people who were far worse off than what I ever was. And in my own mind, I thought I was pretty bad off. But man, was I not. Whew, I was not. So if it worked for all these other people, why couldn't it work for me? That gave me hope. And with hope, that was just the small ember, if you will, that started igniting a bigger fire inside of me. The hope for me became apparent anyway with step two. So again, step one, I already knew I was powerless over alcohol, and my life was a shitstorm, a train wreck, no doubt about it. But step two, we came to believe that a power greater than ourselves, okay, that kind of makes sense now, could restore us to sanity. Wait, what? You mean I'm insane? And I want to break that down for just a quick minute. Yesterday I talked about a power greater than ourselves. What does that mean? Well, that meant that I couldn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel about me. Other people couldn't make me feel the way I wanted to feel about me. No human being can make me feel the way I wanted to feel about me. That meant if no human being could do it, that meant it had to be a power, something more powerful than all human beings. So that meant a power greater than ourselves. Okay, great. I can accept that my brain can kind of process that. But what's this insanity thing? We came to believe a power greater than ourselves could restore us to sanity. Was I insane? Is that what I'm admitting to here? And I always thought I was Mr. Logical, Rational, Mr. Discipline. I had always believed that every action I took, I could turn around and explain it to 12 other people, random strangers, and convince them that they would have done the same thing. And the definition of insanity, some people say it's doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. That's not a definition, that's an example. The definition for me, in my mind, was, insanity is defined by actions and behaviors that we take where we are unable to convince other reasonably minded individuals that they would do the same. So in other words, if I walked in, flipped on a light switch, and the light bulb didn't come on, and then I just kept flipping on the switch, flipping on the switch, flipping on the switch, on and off, on and off, on and off. The light bulb still didn't come on, and I just stayed there all damn day. Eventually, that's going to drive me insane. And then I go and convince, hey, look, you need to go in there and flip that switch, all day long to a reasonably minded person. They'd say, hell no, that's crazy. That's the point. It's crazy. It's insanity. So the definition is my actions and behaviors where I'm trying to convince other reasonably minded people that they would do the same when in fact they wouldn't. They'd go, you're crazy. Now, an example of insanity is, again, doing the same thing over and over again, expecting different results. But early on in the rooms, I also heard another great saying, nothing changes if nothing changes. I knew something had to change. I just didn't know what. Because I kept doing the same things over and over again, expecting different results. No wonder I was going fucking crazy. Hello, it's not rocket science, right? I wanted to restore my relationship with my wife. I wanted to restore my relationship with my kids. I wanted to do all these things, but alcohol kept getting in the way. I knew alcohol was the problem in my relationship with my wife and my kids. It caused my problems, but how could how could I restore those relationships if I didn't quit drinking? So I want to keep drinking, but I want to restore the relationships. My relationships were bad because of my drinking, but yet I'm still going to keep drinking and expecting to restore my relationships? No reasonably minded person is ever going to see that, to agree with that. They're going to say, no, that's fucking crazy. And rightfully so, it is. So I knew something had to change, and that something had to be the alcohol. If I wanted to restore my relationships, the alcohol was going to have to go away. But I couldn't. I tried to stop. And that's step 2. I came to believe that a power greater than me could restore me to sanity. In other words, instead of me trying to quit, instead of me trying to stop me, instead of having other people trying to make me feel good about me, there had to be a power greater than us that would enable me and empower me to, one, feel good about who I was, so I didn't drink anymore, so I didn't continually damage my body any longer. That was where the hope really started growing and developing and coming into fruition. I wanted restoration, but I couldn't stop. I wanted to restore these relationships that I had just completely screwed up in my life because of alcohol, because of my choices with alcohol. I wanted to restore those relationships, but I would try to restore those relationships, but I would never be able to stop drinking for very long. And so I was, again, working at these relationships, rebuilding these relationships, but then I'd fuck them all up again because the drinking kept coming back in. And it wasn't until I realized that, you know what? That was insanity. That truly was insanity. So the good news is, step 2, it tells me a power greater than myself, greater than you and greater than me, can restore me, Crazy Drew, to sanity. Man, that just made that hope get even bigger, balloon a little bit bigger and bigger. And that excites me today. I still live and clutch to that hope, knowing that a power greater than me can keep me sane. Now others might still argue that I'm a little insane, and that's okay. That's their prerogative. But anyway, I wanted to share these things with you, guys. If you're in a position where you keep doing the same thing over and over again, but yet you're still expecting different results, that's just another example of insanity. We have a solution, and taking that second step, and coming to believe that if I can't fix it for you and you can't fix it, there's a power greater than us that can. And that's all it takes, a willingness to believe. We came to believe. Anyway, I'll leave you guys with that. I love you guys. My guys, still got my brotherhood chip. Keep it with you guys everywhere you go. So remember, you can't get drunk if you don't take that first drink.